Good morning, guys. It feels like forever since I've been able to get this video up. Yesterday sucked. I couldn't get my Thinkorswim loaded up the entire session, and then last night I got it up. Did my research, plotted all my charts, and now we're ready to get this over to you guys. I wanted to wait till this morning to get the video up to capture the um, pre-market trading. So I want to go over the SPY and my game plan for today's session before we get into the weekly watch list, since I already covered them sort of kind of in chat. I want to just show you guys the chart so you get a better visual. But for now, I want to talk about the SPY. Yesterday was a horrible trading day. There really wasn't much action for you to be trading on. We stayed within um, we broke Friday's low, but there wasn't enough volume really to do much with it. And it was just kind of like a sit on the sidelines type of day, regain some mental um, energy, I guess we could say. But what we're looking at today is we are holding our key 293.41 support here pre-market. We are also about 2-3 ticks away from it, as yesterday's low was right near our support. So we're looking to open up above um, our support and above yesterday's low. So that means we're opening again within yesterday's range. Now, off the daily chart, we don't have any resistance up until here at 294.37. So if we get accepted back into yesterday's range, it's certainly possible we have another sideways day where we just kind of mope along with low volume as everybody's waiting for this G20 meeting. It's certainly possible that that's the case, and if that is the case, definitely want to remain patient. As you can see here, we have a little bit of resistance just from yesterday's session. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 30-minute candles were all affected by this level at 293.89. So we can watch for that. You know, it's just choppy. If we look at this 5-minute chart from yesterday, it was just choppy. Volume was so low. There wasn't much to do with it. So what I want to really focus on today is making sure this setup we want is there and not forcing anything. So I think if there's two ways. If we come up here and reject this with an overbought indicators, it's possible we can look to take a short down towards the lows. But even then, the trading range is rather small. You got to make sure your risk reward is nice. You got to make sure your contract size is where you want to have it at before taking the trade. If we do accept in yesterday's range and we're just hanging out, it's possibly trade back up towards the highs at 294.37. If that's the case, we could also look for a short play, as it's a pretty tight resistance on the daily chart and on our recent 30-minute sessions. Um, Obviously, at that time, it all depends on what our indicators are at. Obviously, if we're trading up here like this, super overextended out of our Bollinger Bands, then yes, we'll take that short setup any day of the week. That's pretty much it for the SPY today. There's not much I'm really looking at. I don't see the trade set up right out of the gates. So we're going to leave it at that. The daily chart is, sort of doing a little consolidation. If we do break that 293.41, we'll come back down to test our lower support at 292.87 and then 292.28. Now that's based off the daily chart. So with that being said, game plan. Be patient till we test some of our upside destinations. If we do, at 293.89, 294.37. If this low breaks and this support at 293.41 breaks, we have no support until 292.87. That's a decent range. If volume comes in and our indicators permit us to, take this trade, that'll be a short setup down there. We'll have to wait for that. I wanted to go over the charts here on some of the swing positions. I don't necessarily feel comfortable swinging this market with that meeting coming up. It really depends on the price action. If something comes up that's really stand out to me, I'll look to take that position. So Here on Baba, I have 169.81 support off the resistance off the daily chart. As you can see here, it's also a gap from May 5th, May 17th. So far, we're rejecting those levels. Overextended MACD on the daily chart, and I'm looking to see how this progresses. I don't see any action required just yet. Um, I definitely am gonna have this on watch on the 30-minute chart, see if we get a spike up to that resistance. Um, and if we are, testing up there, I'll look for some required action in trading, possibly for an intraday swing, not necessarily a scalp, but something maybe we could take advantage of over a longer time frame. I have Chevron up next with oil doing its thing in the Iran bullshit. We have Chevron up, um, pushing into key resistance here at 127.22, as you can see. Um, key resistance. If this oil uptrend continues, we'll see how this reacts towards this line. We're trading about 2-3 points away from it, so I want to be patient just to have this on watch and see what oil does over the next few days to see if Chevron gets pushed up higher into this resistance. Um, Definitely one to keep an eye on. Cisco, another one trading below resistance here. It actually failed to break out once already at 57.56 resistance off the daily chart. Definitely one to keep an eye on. Our MACD is getting into a weird territory. We're above our 13 EMA on both time frames on the daily chart. So I definitely want to keep an eye on this as well intraday, maybe off that 30-minute chart to see how we um, are trading here. So we have three setups, all similar, all pushing into resistance. We're going to break out or we're going to reject. We got to keep that on watch. We'll focus those. Um, and, we'll do our thing. We got to wait for confirmation. We got to wait for the right entry. And for right now, intraday trading is, taking a pause. So when intraday trading takes a pause, we'll look over and trade these sort of setups. So I'll see you guys in chat. Let's get it this morning. Be smart, be patient, and do your thing.